Scammers, liars, addicts, thieves, swindlers, narcissists, moronic parents, trash, dimwits, lazy moochers, walking turd people. These are just a few of the adjectives for the two lowlifes known as Chris and Hollie. From 1 to 10 on the skanky people scale, these two rate a 12.5. They prey on elderly women in nursing homes and pretend to be their friends, just so these victimized women will send them money. They don't believe in working, but they do things on camera to make it look like they are accomplishing something. However, their only real goal is to keep the money flowing in for alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs. Of course, I'm not saying that they have no skills. It takes a lot of skill and practice to become expert shoplifters, expert thieves, and to assimilate such ideas as a flat earth, a misinterpretation of the Constitution, and other such nonsense. People are not born stupid. It takes time and effort to reach the level of complete imbecile. Chris and Hollie have both reached that objective and beyond. But to understand them, we must look at history. We must look at their past, follow them through time, see what made them what they are, so that we can comprehend what makes them tick. Of course, living in the woods in the south, I'm sure they both have their share of ticks, fleas, worms, and other parasites. However, since they are both parasites living off of others, I would surmise that the bugs don't bother them at all. They were even kind enough to share some head lice with their offspring. You know the old saying, ladies first? Well, Hollie definitely is no lady. Female, yes, lady, not a chance. While a baby is born innocent, she has evolved into a classless skank. She has taken up with a being who is as lazy as she is. I would say a man, but a true man would take care of his family and not mooch off of others. Therefore, we will just call her he, she, a being. We must also then call Hollie a he, she as well, as it appears he, she has more balls than Chris. We could also call Chris a nutless wonder. Hollie was born as a, shall we say, less than beautiful child. As such, she never had a chance. It is rumoured that her mother was a hooker, and we know that children tend to migrate toward and emulate their parents. That would explain why she later became a lot lizard, eventually taking up with the he-she who she sinfully cohabits with today. Like most children, she attended school, at least for a while, and learned how to edit videos and remove segments from videos that they later find incriminate themselves. Her mother must have also been a talker and yapper that never knows when to keep her mouth shut. Hollie also has the skill to convince others to protect their sorry asses and attack other people while hiding behind a fake account and fake voice. In the normal vernacular of the day, that is called being a chicken shit. She portrays the typical behaviour of a scammer, not wanting any truth to ever be spoken about him, her, and his her, he, she. You know that saying, the truth hurts? Yes, the truth does hurt, and she wants no truth to be spoken. As time passed, Hollie never learned to keep her legs closed, and had 4 children with 4 different men. To say she was a loose woman is an understatement. However, we do know that skanks use the baby method to trap unsuspecting men. And so, as time progressed, Hollie had her own little piglets. However, being a neglectful mama pig, she had her piglets taken away so they could be cared for properly. Hollie was fine with that, even bartering with one baby daddy, taking the money and giving up custody of the child to the baby daddy. It's obvious to see what her priorities are. Continuing to be a loose woman and lot lizard, she eventually trapped the he-she that he-she is with today. It's never a good thing for 2 worthless, lazy sluggards to be teamed together. Hollie, having been a skank and scammer all of her life, taught her he-she that working was a worthless endeavour, and that they could go through life depending on others for their every need. Mooch, mooch, mooch is their motto. However, they will embarrassingly proclaim that they are self-sufficient. Perhaps they should look that term up in a dictionary, as the very term itself is antithetical to what we see. What we see are 2 moochers who depend on others for their every need. It's amazing to see how low and how reprobate a couple can become. Chris was born with a banana in his mouth. Of course, we know that Hollie loves bananas and would have been quite jealous, as we are sure she has had many bananas in her mouth over the years. Yes, Hollie loves bananas. In fact, we could say that Hollie is a banana expert, having seen so many bananas during her lifetime. However, with Chris being a he-she, I'm sure he didn't object to being born with a banana in his own mouth. In the same way as Hollie, Chris also never had a chance. Having the brain of a primate, things would always become twisted in his small brain. This would lead to many crazy ideas that make no sense to normal people. But monkey see, monkey do. So Chris became influenced by things that no normal human being would ever fall for. Chris was not like the other primates. He was afraid to swing on vines from tree to tree, being fearful of falling over the edge of a flat earth. The other primates made fun of Chris, and rightfully so. Even the dullest of primates could build a better structure than the piece of shit we've seen Chris attempt to build. However, this endeavor provides entertainment for lonely women and other people whose brains are also primate in nature, so are easily entertained. We know for a fact that most of their followers are members of the monkey cult, so these cult members brainlessly send them things that they don't need nor appreciate. The sad thing is, they've produced an offspring that is as greedy and beggarly as they are. All of them have become spoiled and entitled, believing that the world owes them a living. Dogs and other animals will beg when they see food or something else they want. With both Chris and Hollie being animalistic in nature, we see the same behavior in them. While normal humans have some motivation and drive, and work for what they want, Chris and Hollie beg for everything like animals. While normal human beings are at work, toiling away simply to make a living, Chris lies around and would be licking his balls, if in fact he had any. What Hollie licks, we will not say in this PG-rated video. There was a point in time when Chris attempted to be a normal human. However, being primate in nature, it was only natural for him to regress to his basic nature and become a lazy, begging primate. While he attempted to dress himself up and act human, it was inevitable that he would eventually return to primate form. Of course, we know that this event would occur when he came across the swine he now cohabitates with. She convinced Chris to stop working like a human and return to her former primate form. Both being animalistic in nature, they did not want to be around normal humans. They wanted to be out in nature where they could hide from the rest of mankind, where they could do things that normal humans do not do, and where they could also hide their offspring from the authorities and raise him to be an animal just like them. They do not want their offspring to be a reputable, educated human being. They do not want their offspring to have a normal childhood. We know that animals are very selfish in nature, and Chris and Hollie are no different. They do not care about their offspring. They only care about themselves and what they want. However, even normal animals take care of their offspring and want the best for them. We cannot say that about Chris and Hollie. Chris and Hollie have both become selfish, entitled, unappreciative, and only care about themselves. They use and exploit their offspring to bring in their basic needs and beyond. People send money to them because of their offspring, but the offspring does not benefit. The offspring is only a pawn in their horrible scam game. They will never go live because that might expose the truth. They only show their supporters what they want their supporters to see. Supporters are not allowed to see an actual live broadcast, nor what goes on behind the scenes. Those who have lived by them in real life and have seen what actually goes on paint a different picture than what is seen on camera. We do see, however, that they live like animals. Their property looks like animals have ravaged it and strewn trash everywhere. Being swineful in nature, Hollie makes sure that they live like swine, with trash all over to make him feel at home. With Chris being primate in nature, monkey see, monkey do, she simply follows her lead. The one sad outcome of all this is, their offspring will also grow up thinking that normal life is having trash everywhere, being rude and crude, having no sense of pride nor self-worth, with only his animalistic parents to blame. And even sadder is the fact that you have brainless, gullible people out there who help them propagate this madness.